Welcome to the Math Record. Today I'll be covering the ICTM Regional 2015 Division AA Algebra 2, which I'll be answering questions 9 and 13 in this video, and then questions 15, 17, and 18 in the next. As usual, scroll down to all 20. Okay, now let's begin with number 9. So the values of y such that the graph of the function f of x equals e to the power y times x squared plus e to the power 3y times x plus e to the power 4y does not have an x-intercept, or y is less than ln k. Determine the exact value of k. So what we could do is that let's just strip out e to the y. So that's left with x squared plus e to the power 2y times x plus e to the power 3y. So now, if we look at this, what does it look like? Well, we have an x squared term, an x term, and a constant term. So if you kind of assume that the e to the power 2y is constant. So if you think about it, that means if we have a quadratic equation, we could use a quadratic formula to determine our x-intercepts. So the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So the only reason that there is no x-intercept would be because the square root in here is negative. So that means b squared minus 4ac has to be less than 0. So b squared minus 4ac has to be less than 0. So b is equal to e to 2y, so that's e to 4y. Minus 4, a is 1, and c is e to 3y, and that's less than 0. So factor out e to 3y, and that gets e to the y minus 4 is less than 0. Since this is all exponential, it's going to be positive all the time, so the only one we have to worry about is e to y minus 4, which is less than 0. So that means e to y is less than 4. That means take the natural log of both sides. That means y has to be less than natural log of 4. And that's your answer, just 4. Okay. Now number 13. F of x equals x plus a over bx plus k its own inverse function. Determine the value of k. So basically, if it's its own inverse function, basically when you plug in x equals y, and then when you plug in y equals x. So bx plus k, and that should equal y. And if you plug in your y, so plug in your y into your x, and it should come out as x. So that's just the idea of an inverse function. So just multiply the denominator to the other side, so that's bxy plus ky equals x plus a, and then we have bx times y plus kx equals y plus a. So basically, we have these two equations. So I'm just going to put the second one on the bottom here, so then bxy plus kx equals y plus a. So what we could do is that we could subtract the first equation by the second equation. So this term and this term cancel each other out. So you have ky minus kx equals x. Uh, and then the a cancel with that a. So we have x minus y. Okay, so we have this. So how do we find the value of k? Well, I noticed that this is a positive x and a negative y, and these two are opposites. It's a positive y and a negative x. So what we could do is that we can move this to the other side. So we have x minus y minus ky plus kx. And that should equal to 0. So if we factor out our x minus y, so x minus y factor out from this x minus y, that should be 1. And then factor out x minus y from this number, we should be left with a positive k. So that is equal. So we have x times y times 1 plus k. So that means x minus y is equal to 0, which probably isn't true. So then we could just have 1 plus k is equal to 0. That gives us our k value is equal to negative 1. And that is our answer for number 13. And that's basically it. So here are all questions, all 20 questions. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next math record.